Today we are looking back at the Samsung S20 Fan Edition 5G smartphone that was launched back in October 2020. For starters, this 5G version of the S20 FE is identical to its 4G counterpart. Essentially, it's a 5G version of that slightly cheaper S20 FE 4G handset that was also released in 2020, except for a few internal differences. If you're thinking about upgrading, say, your mobile phone contract, or you're maybe updating from an earlier model phone such as the 2018 S9 Plus, would it really be a big enough step to be worth upgrading to the S20 FE 5G, and will it really offer enough improvements not to opt for the newer S21? Well, let's take a quick look. It retails just under £600, that's around $750 in US dollars, with the 4G handsets coming in £100 cheaper, retailing at £500. Inside the box, we get all the typical paperwork, user manual, SIM card key slot, etc., with the S20 FE 5G sitting just underneath. It does come in a few bold colour choices to choose from, but this S20 today is indeed the white version. This handset has about the same thickness as that older S9 Plus, ever so slightly wider though, but what's noticeable is the mid-range look of that plastic matte finish to the rear. I must say it's not too bad in the white version, especially with that shiny chrome aluminium frame and that chrome bezel around the camera. But with the other colour choices, yes, they might be nice and bold, but they certainly don't give this handset a premium look. I mean, that is compared to some of the older phones that have a glass rear. Okay, I guess if you drop this handset, you got less chance of damaging it, and especially with this white version, it doesn't really show up any greasy fingerprints if at all, and definitely looks a lot more modern in this colour than all the other colour choices. Now, the S20 FE doesn't come with a 3.5mm headphone jack, so Bluetooth headphones and earphones will be the only audio options, which, once connected, actually provide a very strong connection using that Bluetooth 5.0 technology. This particular handset has 6GB RAM, 128GB internal memory, which can be expanded up to 1TB via that SD card slot to the top. After the most recent updates, this S20 FE 5G is running the latest Android 11 with Samsung's One UI 3.1. It has the added security of having that knock suite included, with this 5G version having the upgraded Snapdragon 865 chipset rather than the 4G version that has Exynos 990. Now, we are provided with a Type-C charge cable and a 15W power adapter to enable charging via that USB-C 3.2 port to the bottom of the handset. Okay, it's not super fast, it does take around 100 minutes for a full charge, but you can indeed buy an aftermarket 25W adapter, which should top up that big 4500 mAh battery in a little under 70 minutes. That will provide you with around 6 to 7 hours continuous use, or average use for over an entire day, with wireless and reverse charging being available too. Initially, when you first get this handset, it should come with a pre-installed screen protector, which should just about protect that big 6.5-inch screen from scuffs and light scratches. The Super AMOLED display is also protected by Gorilla Glass 3. Nope, it's not Gorilla Glass 5 that you would see, for example, on the S9 Plus, which is kind of a backward step, but maybe it's so to balance out that excellent sensitivity that the S20 FE offers. I mean, it does have an under-the-screen fingerprint scanner after all, that is quite responsive and well positioned. As well as that, it does have that IP68 waterproof protection that certainly is adequate enough to be able to submerge the phone in 1.5 meters of water for under 30 minutes. Obviously, not advised. As mentioned, you've got a 6.5-inch screen that is big, and yes, you've got a bit of a bezel around it. But what you don't get is those random accidental touches that you would get on those curved edge screens. That display is punchy and bright, with a good aspect ratio, but it isn't, however, as dynamic as that older S9 Plus, which again is a little bit backwards, to be honest. Don't know, I just think that maybe they've got to make adjustments, I guess, for the under-screen fingerprint feature and for that punch hole 32 megapixel camera to the top. I don't know. Yep, you do get a 1080 by 2400 pixel resolution screen that I may add you can unlock with face recognition too. That is not only relatively responsive, but there is also loads of personal settings to be had. Videos and movies play perfectly fine. Silky smooth in fact, which is aided by that Super AMOLED 120Hz refresh rate screen with HDR10 Plus capabilities. Now I've got to say the handset itself is a slight bit on the heavy side, so when it comes to the weight and those screen bezels being a factor, well, it's good to see that we also have that one-handed mode. All on-screen functions are fluid and swift, with app applications opening relatively fast, again thanks to that Snapdragon 865 chip. It is exactly what is needed to enable smooth gameplay on graphically intense mobile games with only minor judders now and again. With both video and gameplay, there certainly wasn't any heating issues. You can keep track of this with that built-in games tool. So yes, you can use it to monitor temperature, battery life, or block notifications. This S20 FE does stay relatively cool, maybe because of that plastic rear, and it doesn't feel as warm as, say for example, using that S9 Plus with that glass back rear. With the cameras we get 3, as well as that LED flash. The 12 megapixel primary camera is brilliant at taking still shots, fantastic at taking pictures while in motion. It can also be saved as a short video clip, so to pick your preferred still frame picture. And yes, we do have loads of extra features, such as effects, that you can lay on top of those taken pictures. And definitely punchy, vivid colours, providing you natural looking images. That ultra wide angle camera is again brilliant. For me, it was preferable for using for outside imagery, and when it comes to that telephoto lens, it has many unique uses outside or indoors. Good for even filming close-ups of reviewable products, with that 3x optical zoom. But I may note with that telephoto lens, you won't have the same colour contrast that you would get while using that primary 12 megapixel camera. Again, just like the S9 Plus, you do get 4K 60 frames per second max video recording with the rear camera. But with this S20, you've also got that same capability with that front-facing camera too. Taking video with front and rear cameras, the footage looks amazing, and it's great for picking up smooth footage with that improved image stabilization, which I may add is also perfect for camera panning. As mentioned, that front wide camera is indeed 32 megapixels, and it was a joy to use, which I think is definitely a good choice to have, especially in the new era of TikTokers and for those people creating YouTube selfie, shorts, videos, etc. We have been using this S20 FE 5G for a while now, and in whole, as much as I didn't like the lack of dynamic colours compared to that much older S9 Plus, well, this S20 FE certainly does grow on you, and what actually appealed to us is not only that slightly bigger screen, but the location of the cameras, the camera quality, the location of those right hand side buttons, which on the older phones always used to get in the way when panning a shot or recording a video, sliding the camera across the surface. Those buttons did used to interfere, especially the Bixby button, and sometimes would stop our recordings. What's also welcomed is the fact that you do get good stereo speakers too, especially when using Dolby Atmos. Audio is nice and crisp from those stereo speakers, and the fact that it's 5G, it is dependable not just for now, but for future circumstances too. So yes, future proof, and it is our preferable upgrade option when picking, say, between the S20 FE 5G or the S21. The S21 doesn't really give you all that much more than the S20, and with this S20 FE 5G being much cheaper, not only on monthly contracts but to buy outright, it has many useful features, and for your money really, we certainly can recommend it. Now we are going to give this Samsung FE 5G handset today a rating of 8 out of 10. We will also be linking it in the video description down below. We are not affiliated in any way, you can go and check that link out should you wish. Don't check out the specifications for yourself, but if you do like what you see, well why not go get yours. Anyway guys, I hope this video helped today, and please make sure when you're in the video description to go ahead and click that like button. Please subscribe to this channel today and make sure to hit that bell notification option so you guys stay updated upon our new uploads. We hope to be doing some more fantastic tech reviews in the next few days, so stay tuned for them. And as usual guys, please stay safe and thank you ever so much for watching. Peace!